here, the 300 series LandCruiser. It took me 12 months from when I first ordered the 300 series LandCruiser. It took 12 months before I got my hands on it. It took so long because I ordered black, GR Sport, leather trim, in red, mind you. So it took a while. It took 12 months to get it, but it's actually 10 years in the making if you consider that the 300 supersedes the 200. The 200, which I'd spent the last 10 years building 4 200 series LandCruisers in the V8 version. The 300 comes in a V6, so it's a big change. Things are going to be different, you know, like how's it going to go? What's it going to do? When I was building the 200 for the first time, it was a conversion, and I built another 3 conversions after that. I think I started with white. I ended up building a lot of black cars towards the end there, back in black, blackout. I actually ordered a black GR Sport, black 300 series. I decided this time that I wasn't going to build a black car. Black was done, so we're going to something different. And that's where the concept evolved. The 300 is different, it's new. Everyone is excited about it, coming to the market. They're still sort of dribbling in.
It's one of the most anticipated releases in the vehicles.
Hard to find parts for them, hard to find aftermarket accessories, because straight away I saw it, I went, I've got to modify that, we've got to put some fruit on it. And so I started searching, and people haven't got all their gear finished yet, so a lot of it is prototype or still being built, so to speak. As a stock unit, the 300s are, yeah, they're all right, but they can be so much better. So like any build, you got to start somewhere. And I literally drive it 15 minutes from the dealer, straight to Outback Armour, in she goes. So basically we just tear all the Toyota stuff out and put aftermarket goodies, and that's where it starts. So with the help of McCormack's 4-wheel drive and everybody else that has supplied their 300 series products to this truck, that's where it started, because everyone else is also in the same boat. They are doing something new for the first time after 10 years designing and refining the products that went on to 200 series LandCruisers.
And that's the new 300 Toro bar, mate.
Hot off the press.
This is the first one being fitted on a GR as we speak.
Yeah, fair enough. So everything from how the roof rack was going to fit to what size rims you put on, they've come up smick.
Yeah.
I like them, they look really good. Yeah.
How big are they?
No, they're only 285s.
Are they?
Yeah. On to how we're going to tune this thing. Those things were easy for the last 10 years because they're literally just refined and bolted on. The 200 became an awesome weapon, and that's where Blackout ended. Still sitting at home in the garage, by the way, probably sulking. Probably the biggest disappointment for me with the 300 was the fact that they got rid of the V8. There's no doubt about it that Blackout has got this awesome note that comes out of it. It just feels like it's powerful, and it is. It's got a lot of torque and a lot of power, but it sounds like it.
Mate, your car's nuts. The horsepower of that thing's insane.
And so introducing a V6 into the market, Toyota are either really stupid or really brave, because they're saying that they can get the same sort of torque and the same sort of outputs, horsepower outputs, as the V8 200. So I'm really keen to see whether we can get that or hit those marks. Not to mention, is the suspension going to be up to speed? Is they made it out of aluminium this time, so parts of this truck, parts of this wagon are full aluminium doors. I think it goes from roof is aluminium, and there's steel parts in the panels. So probably the hardest part of all for people making products to go on these 300s is the fact that their technology now, like that technology is like next level. It's going to have every little camera, radar, sensor, you name it on board. And that's going to be a little bit of an issue as well. with a lot of manpower, a lot of time, a lot of effort, sort of thinking about bringing colour schemes together and people's products. Does that make sense to you? Interesting, isn't it? What is that? That's part of the exhaust. And that's why I chose McCormack's, because the fact that it's that attention to detail is what will make this truck. And I spent many a nights thinking about the colours that were going to come together and turning the black into what colour was going to be the main colour on it. Looking and getting advice and talking to people.
Or is it going to be too much orange?
Well, the fair lead's going to be orange. It all sort of come together and, well, let's stop mucking around. Let's have a look at this thing. Literally today, in the forest, is the first time the tyres have been on the dirt. The first time they've been off-road. I'm happy with the way the performance and the power and the torque. I'm happy with the layout, the way it's sort of all come together, and thanks to all the people that were involved in this build. And it's come together really well, and I'm really keen to see how it's going to go on a real tough adventure and see how it performs. But so far, it's ticking all the boxes. It's a very cool truck. We're going to surely see some trucks come into this space that are going to be a hell of a lot more tricked up than this, but you got to start somewhere, and this is where I've started. Can't wait to get it out there, so stay tuned for that action. In the meantime, let's have a look at how this whole project came together and built the Adventure 300. Wow, it's turned up, finally turned up. This is the new GR Sport 300 Series Toyota LandCruiser, right? Now, you know me, I like Toyota LandCruisers. I've got a blackout truck, which has had an absolute whooping in the last couple of seasons, and the latest season too, by the way. Now, I've picked up one of these because everyone keeps talking about the new 300. I've got the old 200, this is the new breed of Toyota. Now, I've decided I'm going to do a rig build on the 300 wagon. So we're going to start with a wagon, because I've actually never done a wagon when it comes to the 200. They've always been chopped. So let's start with a wagon, and then eventually we'll be able to work up to doing a conversion on it. Now, the 300 wagon, okay, is the GR Sport. Now, I chose the GR Sport because it's got diff locks front and rear. It's got a different grille on it. I even chose black. I don't know, I just keep going back to the color black. I do like the color black. It's easier to start doing things to. So we're gonna give this thing the full workout. Rhino rack, we're gonna put some ROH rims on it. We got some Outback armor to go onto it. And that's what I'm gonna talk to you guys today about, getting some Outback armor on this truck straight up. So it got delivered here, literally, okay, today. And we're going to roll it into the workshop here at Outback Armor, and it's going to get a 2-inch suspension lift straight up. Now, you got to remember, these 300s have got some fancy stuff on them, but from what I've heard, the guys at Outback Armor have already got that sorted. So I can't wait to see what this thing looks like once it's got a 2-inch lift under it, and I can start putting all the gear on it.
Well, you're telling me someone can just win this whole shooting match?
Hell yeah, mate. $225,000 worth of prize pack, the 300 Series LandCruiser, performance package, wheels, tyres, Campos gear, mate, and 2 Sea-Doo jet skis. And if you are an Unleashed subscriber, I will double your entries, just like that, so you've got double the chances to win.
So we're fitting up the Off-Road Adventure 300 series. Jase has allowed us to whack in our adjustable suspension. You can see from the rear, we're also putting in our coil-over rear shock absorbers. That'll take a lot of the sway out of the vehicle, especially with Jase running heavy weights in the rear. He's got his draw system, potentially a boat, and also a caravan, stuff like that. Up in the front, we're also running our adjustable range as well. It's the best thing for most of the touring base. We're also going to run our bump stops front and rear as well in this vehicle, just to be able to get a progressive base, just in case we hit a warp or a washout or something like that.
One of the most anticipated releases in the vehicles. So we've done all the testing on all the versions, and we've gone through and got all the components done. We've tested it and done the development on the DSVs, on the adjustable range, on our performance range. And we've got some of our extra components like we normally do. The bump stops, the progressive rate bump stop kits for them, sway bars, all the extra components to make this a very, very capable vehicle. As we're all aware, Jase likes to really overdo things with the off-road, like where they take the cars to, the weight they put into them, the gear they've got to carry to go and do the sort of things they do. So we've been able to develop the springs, suspension, shocks, that's going to handle everything that he's going to throw at this vehicle. So this one here, even though it doesn't have all the gear on it now, is going to end up with everything that he can possibly put on there, and he's going to take it out and give it what for.
Alright guys, so behind me is the 300. Now I've got it back from Outback Armour, and they've put a 2-inch lift under it. Now, at the moment, it's got no weight in it whatsoever. It's got stock tyres and rims on it. And what we need to do now is get all the weight onto the vehicle. And once we start getting that weight onto the vehicle, the suspension can settle down, and then I'll get another look at it to see how, what needs changing and what needs adjusting and stuff like that. Because remember, this is a GR Sport, which means it's got all the kinetic stuff going on as well. Pretty high tech. But the guys at Outback Armour, they've got it sorted. Now, today, the first thing I'm going to put on in the shed, and Simon will be around shortly, he's going to give me a hand to put it on, but we're going to put the roof rack on. Okay, so it's a Rhino rack platform with the backbone. Check this out. That's the big backbone that goes on the 300. All right. Okay, that's their signature backbone. And I'm going to stick a couple of XTM, these XTM light bars. These are 31s. I've sort of figured they'll go up the front there. And I'm going to do what's called a double stack. So I'm going to double stack them. Okay. And what I'm going to use all of Rhino Rack's Stow-It system. Now this is a little starter pack. You would have seen me use this before. And that'll give me the mounting, okay? The mounting that I can bolt onto here, and you'll see how easily it all goes together. So I can get double light bars, I can put a shovel on the side, might even go a double shovel, and maybe later on we'll do some side lights as well. But for now, we'll get some lights on.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, you're here, mate? Awesome.
Oh, yeah, mate.
I thought it was you that just turned up.
Our roof rack is a lot easier with 2 men.
It is. All right, let's get cracking. We'll get the old frame off this thing here. Okay, bar A. So we're flipping. Bar. Front. Let's get some light bars on the front. .300, ready to rock and roll. Next job now is we've got to head down the road and drop it off at McCormack's, and a whole pile of other goodies are going to be installed in this 300. Here we go, mate, got some stuff for you.
Hey, what have we got today?
Oh yeah, bits and pieces.
Nice, just put on that table there.
All right. We'll chuck all that in. How's it going?
Yeah, good. We've got the door system back in there.
Yeah.
So just waiting on that, those bits and pieces so I can line them up.
Excellent. All right, well you need one of them under the bonnet. And then we'll stick one of those to do some towing.
Good timing.
Right, and then we'll stick one of those so we can see what's going on. We'll hardwire that sucker in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hardwire that one in.
We can make it record 24/7 if you like. Put it onto the lithium.
Let's go. And we can put this one somewhere. We got to
The screen.
find a cool spot to put that.
Control your lights and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one.
Excellent.
And Just in case you want to plug the hairdryer in.
I'll make some toasties.
That's it. No, that'll be cool. It's looking good in here. You know, I've been pondering over the colours of this 300 for so long now, and it's one of the hardest decisions that I reckon I've got to make on this build is what bloody colour to make it. So, and I've been looking through this thing as a swatch here. What do you reckon? That one? There's a real cool one here. What about that one? Metallic blue. Yeah, right. So that's been the hardest part. Anyway, I made the decision, and it's now gonna be done today. They're going to start work on it. So let's get the 300 down to Sinorama. Cross fingers, I got the right colour for this truck. Well, I'm down at McCormack's again, and I'm just going to duck in because I need to see what's happening with the build. There's a fair bit going on, and there's been a lot of phone calls and all that sort of stuff to organise bits and pieces. Now that the Rhino rack is on and all that stuff's on, that's just the beginning of this whole build. So at the moment, the stage we're at is I'm pretty sure that the whole front end of the truck is in bits. We're looking to put the off-road animal bull bar on, which has been, let me think, it's been colour-coded, and they've matched, from what I've heard, they've matched it to the wrap. I remember thinking about the wrap just constantly trying to work out what's going to be the best colour to suit it. So I'm going to get a first look at the wrap. The back end of this truck, what's going in the back of it, there's a fair bit going on there as well, but it is far from finished and we're definitely running out of time. So let's go and have a quick look to see how it's going and make sure that it's, it's still moving along so we can get this job done. So obviously down at McCormack's, and they've got a fair bit going on in their workshop at the moment. So we're sort of trying to squeeze it in there between other bits and pieces and trying to, I suppose coordinate everybody. The sign guy's got to come off. So the guy that does the wrap at Sinorama, they're going to come in today. They've got to do some final detailing. We're really spending, McCormack's are really spending some time doing the real finer touches in this truck. So the grill is going to be painted and some really cool colours going on there. What else is happening? I've got an exhaust that we've got to put on today as well. Torque have sent down an exhaust. I'm keen to see what that looks like before it goes on. Here we are. Here we got Bodie over here at the moment, working on the grill. Come and have a look at this grill.
Hey, mate.
We're here.
How are you, buddy?
How you going, bud?
Yeah,
Good.
What's going on?
Oh, we'd come down and see, mate, how it's been going, because I know I spend a truckload of time on the bloody telephone.
Yeah.
Trying to ring and coordinate stuff, and you're doing exactly the same thing. I bet you're busy as hell here too.
Crazy, mate.
Stuff's just going on everywhere. Yeah, no, the one thing that I noticed with the 300 was because it's so new, it's so hard. People are like, yeah, man, we haven't even built that yet, or we're still fine tuning that, and all those sort of things are coming, and we're having those problems.
Yeah.
But I just noticed that was the first thing that caught my eye when we popped in here this morning. I literally saw that and went, boom!
Yeah,
look at that.
It looks smick, doesn't it?
That looks pretty cool. So this is the grills.
That's the grill.
Yeah.
Obviously the same coloured thumb, but we've obviously stripped it all down, then done it on a satin black with clear on it, and then done the same with the letters. So
that's looking pretty good actually.
It is looking good.
It caught my eye. So
then
that's cool.
We're going to satin out the badges and satin out the tail lights, so give it that black look like Jase likes.
Yeah, that's what I like. But yeah, there's a fair bit going into this truck, considering it's only a wagon.
Yeah.
Right, but obviously the 300s are becoming very popular in your workshop, aren't they?
Yeah, we've noticed a real big increase in them in the last couple of months. So it's pumping along. We're doing a lot of draw systems, RV draws, which we fitted in yours.
I see that going in. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to a lot more 300s. That's for
all right. So let's go over and have a quick look at it and see where we're at with it, because last time I think we were waiting on Torquett's exhaust.
Yep.
Has that turned up?
Torquett exhaust is here.
All right, so we'll get a look at that today.
Yep.
Wow, look at that wrap.
It's cool, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, nice.
So it's a satin titanium with a metallic through it. Yeah, it's actually got a metallic in it. I see that. That came out really good.
You don't see wraps with metallics much.
No.
Looks great.
So the thing that I found is so hard to pick the colours, like, because what you see in a photograph and what you see on the vehicle is two different things. So, and I wanted to go something that was definitely next level, and that
Is next.
yeah,
level.
I reckon it is.
Yeah.
And of course you've done all the door handles.
Satin the door handles out.
Yeah, so all that's done in-house.
Obviously that'll match the grille.
Yeah.
You want to go to the bar and have a bit of a
Yeah, look at the bar, like,
look. So obviously in-house we've matched that.
oh, you've matched it like
To the
almost
actual
perfectly, yeah.
So that's a satin matte finish. And that's the new 300 Toro bar, mate. So she's going to be pretty smack.
Right off the press.
This is the first one being fitted on a GR as we
Wow.
speak.
Yeah, fair enough.
So got your lights, mate, your winch, your XTM.
Yeah, we'll stick the winch in. No, we're getting there. Well, we got some lights, that's a start. You got this light in here. I may have to get one of those. Yeah, I might have to duck down and grab one.
Well, yeah, I think you might have to.
Because I forgot to bring it.
That's
No,
all right.
it's coming together good. Have a look in the back. What's happening in the back?
So we've got the RV premium system here. We've got the Red Arc Red Vision we've got there. We've got the inverter on and off button there rather than the Red Arc one. It's a bit neater.
Yeah. So we got got switching there. No, that looks good.
We've just got to run the compressor hose out here yet, which we haven't done.
Yep. No, and we got that Bluetooth set up with the
Bluetooth
compressor as
for the
well.
compressor,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
onboard
No,
air
I'm
type
keen to
setup.
see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then we've got a
Cargo barrier.
cargo barrier, yeah, so we can mount. Yeah, here it is. Mount this little sucker here. Look at that.
Bit of doof.
What goes in the back there, do you know? Is that where you put your...
It's like a battery pack, so you can take it out and then
take
carry
it
it
out.
around.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I haven't seen it, I just sent the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's the EXO gear. She's going in. No, that's good. So that's going to go in, so we get a bit of bush doof. Or a bit of piano music to calm the nerves,
Bit of
maybe.
casein.
Yeah, so whack that in there. That's going to go and mount up into there like that. So that'll be hardwired in. We're going to hardwire that in.
Hardwire that in, yep.
Yeah, we'll hardwire it in. I'm not going to...
Remove it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like walking around the sticks like this.
Gun one side.
Yeah, no, it scares the animals, mate. Yeah, we're not here to scare everyone. Yeah, no, that's good. We're getting there.
Lights on the side are all done.
Oh, yes. Side lights.
Aerial.
Yeah, this is that new aerial. So I ran into a guy, get this, I ran into a guy, I was actually down in Sydney. He said, oh, Jase, blah, 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 I got this new product and I'm keen for you to have a crack at it. And I went, okay, no worries, send me it. It's HGA, which is, and I'm not even sure what HGA stands for.
No, me either.
I'll have to find out. It's an electric aerial, or it's an actuator that brings this aerial up to here. Well, it's not hooked up yet, is it?
No.
You're going to see that shortly anyway, so we're working on that still. So that's going to be pretty cool and interesting. That'll get our Uniden aerial up when we need it and down when we don't. Let's face it, we don't need it up all the time. But
Clear views, waiting on clear views.
oh yes, yeah, they're going to be here very shortly. The mirrors, the new Clearview mirrors. So
And the electric.
oh yes, and the power slide. So there's lots of stuff to go in yet. Have a look inside this car. I don't know whether you've seen inside it yet. I may have shown you already, but get a load of the trim in this thing. So there you go. That's a quick update. So let's get cracking on to the exhaust today.
Yep.
And what was the other
We'll
thing?
get the bar on today and we'll get the flares
Yeah,
on.
and we'll get some flares. Yeah, we got some flares coming as well because she's pumped out now with the tyres and rims.
Yeah.
So we got the tyres and rims on. They've come up smick.
Yeah.
I like them. They
big
look really
buggers.
good. Yeah.
How big are they?
No, they're only 285s.
Are they?
Yeah.
What is it, a 33?
33.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Suspension's in, all that sort of stuff's in. You would have seen that going in.
What's the go with the outback armour? I've noticed it's got a coil over plus a coil. Is that new?
Yeah.
I don't think I can even buy that. How did you get that?
So it's a coil and then it's got a coil over.
Over, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get that for?
Oh, we've had that for a while.
Oh, we don't get that.
Don't you?
Nah.
Oh, there you go, mate.
So we
So
go and see our back armour.
have a look in there. You'll notice that it's obviously a coil rear end, and then it's got a coil over the shock. And what it is, it's like a helper coil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep cracking. I'm really liking it. So we're getting the exhaust put on it. There's some bits and pieces. It's stainless steel exhaust. Now, obviously DPF these days, they're everywhere. They're on all vehicles, especially the new ones. So we're not taking the DPF off, obviously, because you're not allowed to drive it on the road legally. So Torquid have come up with a little clever trick, and it's going to be pretty cool because it's a new thing. Okay, it's something that I've never heard of before, and basically it's going to make a DPF exhaust sound good, and that's really hard to do because let's face it, the second you put a DPF on a diesel, you can't hear that engine. You can't, it's not like the 79. That thing was out of control. As soon as you put a DPF on it, you just lose that sound, that awesome sounding truck. So what Torquid have done is they've come up with this new concept that'll allow it to have a proper legal exhaust system, okay, which is a DPF backed stainless steel exhaust system, but also give you the sound that you're looking for when you're driving your car. We'll get this exhaust ready to go, and it's going to go on today. I haven't even really had a crack at this V6 yet to see how hardcore it goes. Like, it goes all right, but I haven't really had a solid drive of it. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, and then see how it goes once it gets tuned up and get some horsepower into it. There you go. So there's a piece of what's going to go on this truck. Don't drop it. I don't want to put a dent in it. So that looks like it's about that might be 2.5, might even be 3 inch. I'll have to check that. So it's going to look good, that's for sure. And then that new thing that I'm talking about, it's going to sound good. Can't wait. Hopefully it sounds better than that. All right, that's the jigsaw puzzle. Put all that together and whack her on. Oh, there we go, look at that. Does that make sense to you? Interesting, isn't it? What is that? That's part of the exhaust. That's that thing I was telling you about. That is going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Or how that sounds, more like it. Very interesting. There's 2 of them, see? There she is. That's the computer, the brain. We just got to stick the little badge on, and look, this is the attention to detail on this build, and look, that's what it's all about here anyway with Bodie. He likes the attention to detail. So what I've done is I've tinted that as well. So it's the off-road animal bar, obviously, and we've tinted that as well, and that little attention to detail makes all the difference, and that's what we want to do with this truck. I want it to be the wickedest 300 that you've ever seen. Mate, that Fairlead, what do you reckon we do with this? That's shiny and chromy.
Yeah, we can satin it.
I reckon we do it, eh?
You want it in orange or black?
What do you reckon?
I reckon we do it in orange.
I reckon too.
Yep.
Where does it sit in the thing? Like, so you've got the bar in, so it'd sit about here.
Yeah, it'll sit like that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, definitely. You can't have that. Mate, we spent the time to get the chrome out of this.
You can't leave that there, right?
Nah, shit no.
Especially with the
Well, you remember Ram Meter?
Yeah.
So we painted them on Ram Meter and made all the difference, eh?
Even the shovels and the axes.
Yeah, everything. Made all the difference. What do you reckon about the shovel?
Mate, the blue doesn't look right. You reckon we go a bit of orange there and then through the centre?
I reckon.
Then your max tracks will just finish it off.
Yeah, you got the max. We got the max tracks there.
Yeah.
These ones here, the extremes.
Grey.
That's the they call these the gunmetal
Yeah.
extremes, right? Look at the colour, mate.
Almost spot on. Especially with the black.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. And then we whack in maybe the orange, so I'd maybe go like split them,
Yeah.
orange, something like that on the roof, and then but that shovel,
Yeah.
I reckon you've got to orange. I don't know, might just set it off, you know?
What about if we even go orange the spade? I know it might come off.
No, I'm not worried about coming off. I'm just like,
Orange
boom.
the spade, black, and then orange that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll just do the orange, the centre,
Yeah,
and that.
yeah, I reckon that and that.
Yeah. Righto,
Yeah.
too easy. We'll get it done then, eh?
I reckon. Gonna need a bit of trimming on that one. I've got a rear bar coming. I'm hoping that comes in time. We've got a tune to go into it yet. Right, so now that I've done the exhaust and power upgrade, okay, from Torkit, I just want to show you quickly what I've been working on in the rear end of this truck. Remember, it's a wagon, which means I'm used to fitting out canopies. So first of all, what I did was I had to get rid of that plastic rear bumper because that thing was going to get torn clean off if you do any sort of serious off-roading. So straight to, there's a mob called Razzler, put a rear bar in, which allowed the spare wheel to come out from underneath and go on the back, as you can see, and some room for a bit of spare jerry cans. All right, so you have a look. It's got a couple of swing away doors so you can access the back like that. So a couple of swing away doors. And I've been putting in a few little extra cool features myself here in my own workshop just to finish this build off. So it's got the rear drawers in the back, which is the RV Premium, okay, with all the blacked out and the nice carpet. And, you know, they've got little lids and stuff like that. You know, help for space saving. But one of the things, the coolest things that I've been working on is the actual air system. So the ability to pump up 4 tyres at once when you're, you know, you're coming off the beach. Now, you've obviously seen the tyre deflators. So let's deflate some tyres first, and then I'll show you how I can pump up 4 tyres at once using this inbuilt air system in the back of this truck. On this side. Now you see how I deflate 4 tyres at once with the Boss Airs. Now I want to show you is how I inflate 4 tyres at once with this clever little system I've got hooked up in the back. All right, so we've got 2 hoses, 2 connection points, connected to a compressor under here, and an app. So it's all controlled by an app. So I'm going to stick 1 hose in down that end, stick 1 hose on here, like that. Taking these off first. Alrighty, so set my preset. So I've got a preset set here at 45 PSI. Turn the compressor on, it's already connected to it. And the phone will alert me as soon as those tyres have been pumped up to the correct pressure. Now, I might just have a bit of a squiz in the fridge while I'm waiting, because it does it all itself. Quick check. We're about halfway at the moment. And it's that easy. Simple as that. 4 tyres at once. I don't have to worry about pressures. It's all controlled in the app. The compressor under there, it's quite a big compressor, twin cylinder compressor. Pumps out a lot of air. You've got 2 little fittings on the side here. Basically, it's that simple. Oh, there you go. Just stops automatically. Yep. Perfect. 45 PSI. So all the tyres now are pumped up at 45 PSI, all 4 tyres. All right, let's have a look here. So now it's just a matter of going pop, pop. All right, so I'll show you. There it is. All right, guys, so this is the most, I don't know, this is the coolest part of this whole build. And I spent a couple of days installing this system into the back of this truck. Now, if you have a look here, have a look at this sound system here. So this is a sound bar sitting up and it's mounted to the back tailgate of this truck. Now, I spent a bit of time making brackets and ran all the wires down in here. I've got a subwoofer. That's the main player there. And I don't know about you, man, but this is pretty cool. Watch this. So have a look at that. So it's a sound system built into the back there. Mate, if you've just like the lights to start with, like it's pretty cool. You don't have to play it so loud at the campsite, mind you. You probably upset your neighbours camp beside you. But other than that, it's a pretty cool setup. Look, let's face it, a lot of people like to listen to music, especially when they're out camping. That's what it's available for. So with all those lights going on, I'm sure the kids will love it. I know my kids absolutely love it. So there you go, guys. That is a couple of cool features in the back of this build of this 300 series LandCruiser. This whole setup in the back here, I'm not used to running around in a wagon. I think the last time I ran around in a wagon was a 76 LandCruiser, and that was some time ago now. I found that there's a fair bit of space here compared to the 76 LandCruiser, and I've tried to set it up that way. So eventually I'll probably put some awnings on the side. I don't know about you guys, but I reckon it's one of the coolest 300s in the country. All right, this is how it works. Basically, you get all that. Rooftop tent, 35-inch tyres, jet skis. Mate, this thing is fully kitted out, ready to rock and roll. 400 horsepower under the bonnet, torque to boot. Mate, it's next level 300 and it could be yours. Get your tickets. All right, I guess you wonder what I'm doing. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've decided with this new 300 that I've got sitting around in the shed, the 300 build, which you've seen on YouTube. It's an awesome build. I want to start doing some things with it. I want to do a bit of an upgrade. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade the tyres and the rims. Now, I've just picked it up from Brisbane yesterday afternoon because I've had to lift up the suspension slightly to cover that. So stick around. I'm going to stick some cool, meaty, awesome looking tyres on this truck, 35-inch tyres. I'm going to stick some new rims on as well. And I got a little surprise installed after that. All right, let's get some 35s on this sucker. Now, in order to cover this, get this vehicle ready for 35s, what I've had to do is I've dropped down to Outback Armour and they've gone and put a full new suspension kit in this truck. Now, the reason for that is not only is it going to lift it up, but this is the prototype. Get this is the prototype for their GVM upgrade. So that allows me, okay, to get that little bit more height, but it also means that down the track, I might be able to do some real world testing with this truck. 35s are going to give me a much bigger footprint, especially on the sand and off-roading. And these are pretty good looking rim. These are the ones we put on Simon's truck, so I'm keen to see how they go. They look so good, and I've got a lot of space in here. You'd be surprised how easily a 35 will sit on the 300. Happy with those. These are a 35 by 12.5, 18 inch, okay? So they're a mud terrain, black bear. All right, now what I've gone and done with this suspension, in the front, they've gone and changed the strut and the coil. So it's got a brand new strut in it and a brand new heavier coil. One that gives me that little bit more lift and can handle that load, that extra load from bull bar, winch, all that sort of stuff. When you're talking about GVM upgrades. Now remember, this is the prototype. They're still working on it, and I've just been asked to test it out, see how it goes. Mate, that's a good sized tyre. It actually fills the guard really well. Like, it's not as though it's oversized. So I was actually quite shocked by that, actually. Probably fits it better than the 200. All right, 2 more tyres. We'll get this thing rolled out the door and see how she looks outside. The surprise, this is the surprise I said before. So not only do I stick 35-inch tyres on, give it a little bit more lift. Now, you all know, well, I assume you know, I know, when you put bigger tyres on, you lose horsepower. You lose that bit of punch. Now, this car goes okay. Like, it's had a mild tune in it, but I want to see how far this thing can go. This twin turbo V6 diesel 300 series LandCruiser, new, no one knows much about them except one person. And that guy is Matt from Just Autos. And we're going to take this truck, the 300, right now to see Matt from Just Autos. And he, mate, he's the Toyota master, let's face it. He has had more dyno time than anyone in this country, if not the world. And I want to see how far we can take this truck, this engine, and see how much horsepower we can get in it. Now, I've had a 200 series LandCruiser, and that's a V8, 4.5 litre diesel. Mate, I've got that thing of mine absolutely hammering. Like, that is an awesome bit of gear. Can haul big loads. It's in a conversion. It's in the creative conversion format. It's got some good horsepower. Matt reckons that the new twin turbo V6 300 series LandCruiser diesel can absolutely destroy the 200. Car's sitting on the hoist now. We're ready to rock and roll. We've got Matt here. Now, the whole reason why I am here, and I'm going to tell you, this is the whole reason why, is because, let's face it, Matt has probably the only person, I reckon the only person in the world that has had more dyno time for a 300 when it comes to tuning them than anybody in the world. Well, could I say that?
Yeah. Look, it's hard to say, but I'm only here because of the team that I have and the support and the help that to get us this point. It obviously having the car sitting on the dyno, there's a lot of other people involved to make it to where it is. So it's hard to sit here and take the glory for all that. It's not just me. It's the team that I have, and I have a great team. So But yeah, look, 300 series, it's, you know, definitely the flagship of Toyota, and, you know, understandably a lot of people have always been a little bit iffy about getting the 300, especially from the 200. 200 was a great platform for many years. You know, it sounded, it performed well, it did a lot of good things. I think it's pretty hard for people to think coming in from a 200 series like yourself, then into a smaller capacity engine, and they're going, hey, is it going to be as good? And I was pleasantly surprised with the 300 series when we first got the 300 series and we started, you know, tuning it and adding some modifications to it. The power level that this car woke up to was sensational, and hands down, hand on heart, it's so much better than 200 series. I love the 300 series.
That's what I want to hear, because I know you spend a lot of time on the dyno. There's no doubt about it. Like I just said, I've had the 79.
Yep.
I've got the 79 back in black. I've had the 200.
Yep.
Blackout 200, and now we've got the Adventure 300.
Yep.
And we've got a Creative Conversion 300 as well.
Yep.
They've all been tested now in the field.
Yep.
Okay. So the 300's been tested, the conversion.
Yep.
And mate, I'm actually coming back and saying I'm liking it.
Yep.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you and saying that the 300 is killing the 200. It's kicking its ass.
You're 100% right. Look, it really is, and we get asked the question a lot, and I'm sure you would as well. You know, how can you go into a 300 from a 200? Look, the only thing is, I would say that the sound-wise is definitely different. That's one thing I do miss about the 200, but that's it. That's all that I miss. You know, the exhaust system that we tend to run on the 300 series, they sound, you know, really good. They definitely have a good note about them. So, look, the end of the day,
what are we going to put on it?
The end of the day, we're first of all, obviously we're going to go through, and we're actually going to do our multi-mapping on this car today, and we've got other videos on that, and that's a big sort of explanation into how all that works. Yeah. But that's more the tuning stuff. The products we're going to fit to your car today is our heat exchanger. Okay. So our Just Auto's heat exchanger is a heat exchanger that we made in-house. We designed it. First thing when we started tuning these cars, we noticed our intake temperatures were going through the roof.
And intake temperatures, because you're wanting the fuel in?
Yeah, fuel and boost is definitely our charge temps. We ended up designing this, and this is a heat exchanger. So it's a water-air intercooler system on this car, unlike the 200 series, which is an air-to-air cooler. The problem is with this model of car is that where the two little coolers are in front of the bar there, they're quite restrictive, right? And not only that, they're quite small. So the volume of water that you hold in the cooling system is not much at all. So we're adding this heat exchanger in the center in series. So they're still using the factory system.
So there's two in this car.
There's already
standard.
two. They're small.
You're just replacing.
We're adding this. So we're not taking them away. We're adding this to the system.
Oh, you're adding it.
Yeah.
So now I got three.
So So now we have a larger volume of fluid going through. So our coolant levels increase around about 5 litres of fluid. So that helps with heat soak. But also we've got a larger surface area for cooling now, and we're using the electric fan and tuning that electric fan to draw more air through this to help with all of this to maintain and consistency with intake temps. Guys that are towing, I see a lot of stuff on forums and so forth, and what they're starting to struggle with is as they're driving up hills, they're having the problem where the car's starting to lack in power and so forth, and as temperature goes up. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to maintain consistency, and a heat exchanger not necessarily is going to give you more power, but it's going to give you power that you have for longer, and that's what it's all about, being consistent. So this is a must. It's amazing the differences that we found with fitting this and how we could be more consistent. We did a video where we did a dyno run with the standard setup, holding at load hold, and we were holding at 450 newton meters for around about a minute. The car literally dropped down to around 200 newton meters within that minute. So if you simulated like a van towing up a hill, it was amazing. We put this in. What I didn't show on the video is the fact that I was stabilised there after fitting this cooler for 5 minutes, and we stabilised in temperature, which is extremely good when you can stabilise that temperature and you don't have that creep up anymore. And we maintained that 450 newton meters. So definitely a must.
So we got that.
Yeah, moving on. So we've got, this is just something that we always like to fit. It's a bit of protection. It's the boys at Fats make this Just Auto's fuel filter bracket. Obviously they're plastic at the back. It's just to help with rocks, and it's part of our package free that we just put on a must.
I got one of these on my other 300.
Right, yep. So
from the same guys.
Yep. So really good bit of gear. It's something that I think it's cheap and it's a must to put on. The third thing that we got there is our Just Auto's airbox, made by FFM. Awesome airbox. that allows us to flow a fair bit more air than factory, which is something, especially when we're starting to tune the level that, the power levels that we're going for, that is a must as well. Good thing is you've already got the fat snorkel on there, which will marry up to that. Awesome.
Fat snorkel.
And that's going to work wonders as well. So just a few little things here. Once we get this all sorted, we're going to go through the motion now. So we'll do a standard run on the car, see where it's at, and then we'll start to tune from there. And hopefully get some really good results and make you smile, because that's what it's about.
Look, the thing is, the bigger tyres now, I'm going to zap a little bit of my power.
Yep.
Especially off-road. You'll notice it big time off-road. And yeah, that was the only thing when I'm trying to compare my 300, right? I'm trying to compare a stock 300 to a bomb 200. Like mine's got the full tone package. That thing absolutely rumbles. Yeah, look, and like time and time again, we are seeing more people hesitant about the 300 series. Obviously, it's a new platform. We have definitely been testing this platform to a high limit. I believe that I don't see anyone else testing to that limit as far as where we can go with these. We have, basically in our showroom a spare engine that we've had from day one. We had the willings to push this thing to breaking point. It surprised the hell out of me. It's been one of the most efficient diesel engines that I've ever tuned. So, I'm very impressed with what Toyota have done with this platform. So, I have high hopes for it, and I believe it's awesome. More and more people are getting these cars and starting to see what they are. We definitely have customers come in and test drive our 300, and once they jump in that, they're like, hey, I'm buying a 300. Like, it definitely makes them smile. So, but let's get stuck into it and see what we do. Let's see if you can put a smile on me dial. The one thing you will notice with the new bars that they're putting on 300 series LandCruisers is, especially this one, this off-road animal bar, have a look at all the air intake. See, all this is not just for looks, it's also to let the air flow to those water-to-air intercoolers, which is on the new V6 engine. So there's one on either side. So they need to get that airflow in there. You don't want to restrict it. So the advantage of what Matt's doing is he's not only got these two sitting on the side, he's sticking a middle one, which almost looks like it's twice the size. Is it twice the capacity?
No, probably more like
3 times the capacity of one of these?
Yeah, so, our cooler's not only bigger, but the volume of extra coolant that we're adding in, we're adding an extra 5 litres, and total is about 1.7 litres in the system, so we're adding a fair bit more.
That's a truckload more.
So it makes a huge difference.
So, basically, normal turbos run on an air intercooler, right? So which means that cools the air before it goes into the turbo, right? Yeah, so if you're looking back at old school days, turbo diesels, if you go back to FTEs, they didn't have an intercooler. Then in the 100 series, they brought out intercooler for it. So the diesels in, say, the 200 series and 79 are an air-to-air. The good thing about air-to-air is that it's really good at cooling. It's not real stable. When it gets hot, it gets hot. It's easy to recover from because there's only 2 forms of cooling. Water to air is all about consistency, and that's a great thing about it. So it definitely seems to be the future. The intercooler that Toyota have designed to be on this motor, we've actually had one out already and having a look at it. I've got a bit of new technology in there as far as how the intercooler flows. So it's only quite a small core, but it flows extremely well for the cooling effect that it has. So it does have an air-to-air intercooler? So it sits on top? It's actually air, so it's water. So if you imagine if the air flows through these heat exchangers, right, that converts that cold water cooler and then goes through the intercooler, which has the air from the turbocharger passing through one side of it, right? And it's cooling the intercooler down with water, okay? So that's how it does it. But the air is still coming out and then being forced into the engine. It's a little bit different. It's going through the core. It's done in a different way. It's sort of different to an air-to-air, but it's much the same. The difference is that we've got water cooling the intercooler on this, where in general we usually don't have that. So gotcha. But yeah, look, it is pretty cool. I think water to air, you're seeing on the new 79 series, the 2.8, they have a water to air intercooler on them as well coming out. The Hilux engine. So definitely something that is starting to see more of a pattern with companies, manufacturers doing this. So, but we're just, we need to improve on that, especially because, we're tuning the cars at a higher level than they're released with, so we need to make sure that our temps are in check. Well, at the end of the day, real high level. Lots of horsepower.
So the stock run we did was 304, a little bit higher than what we usually see for a stock car. Mind you, it is at the rear wheels and on a hub dyno, so it's not done in four wheels. So it always adds around about 15% more power to the end result. So it's definitely higher there. So it's going to be really good to see where we end up. We should see a pretty good increase here. But so far, everything's looking pretty good.
All right guys, today is D-Day. Everything went in yesterday. So we got water to air intercooler is in. Okay, so the big one in the middle. The tune has been punched in. So he's whacked that in with the laptop. So all we got to do now is get the dyno numbers up onto the big screen and see how this thing performs. I can't wait. Today is D-Day. All right. We're ready to go, mate. It's hooked up to the hub dyno.
Yep, we're back.
Big screen.
Yep, we spent a fair bit of time late arvo and yesterday into the night to try and get this thing dialed in.
Yeah,
I know the numbers it's at, so it's doing exactly what it should be doing, so that's really, really good. So
yeah, no, fair enough.
we're going to do a couple runs just to showcase what goes on
and
go from there. So.
All right, so we're ready to go. Now, I just explained that everything is in, bolted up, all the little bits and pieces, all the little bits of fruit, all the cool stuff.
Yep.
That's all on. You've downloaded your file.
Yeah, so
correct?
We've done that quite a few times. We start off with the base and then we tweak that base from there to obviously get the optimum out of this car. Every car is slightly different, and that's why we use things like we've made a custom data logger, and what that is that we can measure all the parameters in the car. It's not a Toyota thing, it's actually our own data logger that we use. And this is one of the secrets to the reason why we can get a lot more power out of these cars and safely is because we understand that data, and that data is only to us. So that is something that's quite special. We go through that data, make the changes that we need to make, and then therefore we start making a lot more power. So it's good.
Let's see it. I'm keen to see what sort of horsepower this thing comes up with. All right, so we started off. Stock was 298, so that's what the stock horsepower is on the hub. So that gives you an idea of where we start, and it's that baseline, we work from there. Only way is up, Matt. Now remember, this is a diesel engine, and it is only a V6.
There we go, 406.
Just like that. So we went from 298 horsepower and he just punched it straight up to 406 and 778. That's 778 Newton meters of torque. So basically, wow.
Look, what we usually see in the 300 series is that we usually see around about that 100 horsepower sort of gain. The difference is that with the modifications we've done, we can maintain that power for a long time, and that's what it's important. So
yeah, because you can keep that engine temperature consistent.
Yep, like consistent. Yep, so it's about consistency. So yeah, look, these things at this number, they are very impressive to drive. Like being a little motor, it's hard to imagine that sort of power. We have to spend quite a lot of money on a 200 series to get these numbers. So to do that out of this car with these minimal mods, that is something that I believe is truly impressive.
What did we pull out of my 200? Like that thing was...
But because it wasn't on a hub dyno, that was on an Orbital dyno. And I think at the time it was about 220 horsepower, 223 at all fours. So if you put it on the hub dyno, you're probably looking around that sort of 300, 310, something like that.
Yes, that's right.
So
I think we tipped over just over
so
that.
the thing is here is that looking at a tuned 200 series and comparing it to a 300 series, they're very similar. The 200 series might have slightly more power, probably another 15 more horsepower. But when we compare it down to what a tuned 300 series is, I mean, you can't really compare. It's unfair to compare it against it. So I believe it just truly shows how efficient and how good these engines are. And that's something I think is massively underrated in this idea of a car.
So there you go. So basically what he's saying is when I had the 200 sitting on, if it was sitting on a hub dyno, it would be sitting at 310, and we've just hit 406 out of this V6 diesel. How cool is that? I'm getting very excited about the fact that this little V6 engine, mate, has got so much grunt.
Yeah, so, and the good thing is a lot of our power is more top end. So it means it's going to be super safe for the engine. We've got a lot of RPM happening when we're applying a lot of that power. There's a whole lot of things here that make this really good. It's the best way to think of it. We've got two engines. We've got a smaller engine and a larger capacity engine and two different zoning, and that's the way the sequential turbo works, which makes it really, really good. So you got all that towing grunt down low, and then we've got all that power up top, you know, which is you know, something that's pretty cool to drive.
Now we're talking. Mate, it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean,
I can hear it.
For a V6, like this is it's never going to sound like a V8, but you know, with the way that it is at the moment, it's got a really nice note, I believe, for the size of the motor. Obviously, once we start getting up there in the rev range with a whole lot of boost in, it changes its note, and I reckon it sounds pretty good.
Now, how do I control the multi-map?
Okay, so you got your cruise control, resume and set button, right? So you can move it up. And as you see that it shows you on the tacho what map you're in. And at the moment we're in map 4. We can go over to map 5 if you press up again. So now you've got lumpy idle. So you got lumpy idle, launch control, same power that's on map 4. It's just got functionality on that map. It all switches also as you drive, like it changes over. We've got quite a few videos on that explanation of that. The map 4.
So this just like sounds like it's got a cam in it or something.
Yeah, it's just tuning. It's, you know, obviously it doesn't have any cams in it, but you can call it ghost cam.
Ghost cam.
But it's just
sounds good.
Timing. Yeah. So it's a little bit different.
All right. So 4. What's 4 then?
4 is our maximum power that we have. So that's, you know, the power that we're making that 408, but we don't have functionality on it. So there's no launch control. It does have a hard cut limiter, but other than that, it's exactly the same as 5 in power. And if we move to map 3 is what we've set up for towing. A lot of guys have complained about turbo surge with the 300 series and trying to eliminate that. With obviously the tuning across the board, we can eliminate 80% of it, but there's still a slight mechanical thing here that we struggle to get through. And because of that, we've designed a towing map that allows us to run on one turbo all the time. And when we're towing it, you just get your consumption, but also the fact that you never have that surge happen in that map at all. So it eliminates the problem there.
Towing is 3? All right.
And then you can go down to 2. 2 is obviously what we call stock plus. It's a stock map. It has minor changes to a lot of the tables to ensure the car is smooth to drive in that table. But as far as output of power, it's pretty close to that 300 horsepower. So it's good to reflect back. If you're driving and you think your car's lacking power, you go back to the map and you'll be like, oh wow, the difference is massive going backwards. So there's nothing special about that map. The next one is idle up and winch mode, which is something we have in map 1. I use this for charging batteries, as I was saying the other day. It's really cool if you want to jump out your car, charge your batteries if you've gone flat overnight, winching, jump starting another car. Again, as soon as you drive off, it will be on a lower power map, but it's just a function that we put in there. And the last one is immobilizer, so it'll go to 0 and the car will turn off. And now the car won't start, so you could be anywhere, you can try and start it and it will crank and won't start. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the thing is here is that if you were, say, leaving your car at the airport and you've got your keys, you've locked the car, and you want to sort of have that extra security, you could leave it in map 0, go away, come back. The only way this car will start is if you were to hit the resume button up, and you would go up to the next map, say up to map 2 or map 1, which is idle up. Doesn't matter, you can choose whichever one you want to start off, and the car will just start like normal. And
then, like that?
Yep.
Oh, that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, so it's just something else that we've added in there to, you know, as a function that we believe that people would use. Yeah, look, a lot of them, it's all about having that fun and that touch and that play with, and I think map 5 is pretty cool. It's obviously not something that guys are using every day, but it's cool as shit. And the other functions, you know, like I definitely use the idle up and the immobilizer is really cool, especially on, say, something like a 79 that has no security whatsoever. You know what I mean? So it's something that can be set up really well and really easily. So
I like this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It sounds good. What's it sound like out the back? Let's
have
a listen out the back.
Have a listen to this thing out the back. So not only has it got that, it's got that lumpy mode idle. So when you're sitting at the lights, the thing is just lumping. And then it's got what they call launch control. So it'll sit on 2,000 RPM with the foot on the brake. You put your foot splat to the floor, you take your foot off the brake, and it just takes off like a rocket. Right. Awesome job, mate. Let's go and see how she goes in the real world.
All right, so easy.
Hey guys, I won't take up much of your time because I want to show you the fastest awning in the West. It's the Boss Quickie 2.5, mate, and it is fast. I reckon it's one of the fastest awnings. It's new to the market, great design, an absolute cracker of an awning. Easy to set up. The Boss Shadow 2.5 Quickie, mate, it's got all the features that our awnings have. Otherwise, mate, get back to your video and keep watching. All right, guys, in a moment, I'm gonna reveal where we are and what we're doing, because remember, last time I spoke to you, we were at Just Auto's workshop, and basically, we're gonna do some real world testing. So today is that day, real world testing. Mate, I rang the cops. They said I can't drag race down the Bruce Highway. They won't shut it down for me. So Matt's organised, okay, he's organised a racetrack. So literally, we're gonna be drag racing down a racetrack, controlled conditions, which is good. But I'll tell you what, it's gonna be a hot day today. There's no doubt about it. And there's gonna be heaps of trucks here. Like there's gonna be some cool bits of kit. Now there's gonna be everything from a supercharged Y62 Patrol, okay? Supercharged Wilkinshaw Chevy Silverado 1500. I think there's a blown Ram, okay? There's also gonna be a stock 300, and there's gonna be a shop and trolley Camp Boss. I stole the missus's Y62, literally as stock as a rock. And we're gonna roll up today and we're gonna test these out to see how they go. I'm excited about getting stuck into it. Mate, this thing, okay, has got some grunt. But I tell you what, it is in touring form. I'm feeling confident, but man, there's some serious horsepower waiting for me to drag race against. Anyway, stay tuned. It's all happening today here at the racetrack.
Feel as though this is the safest way. It's a controlled environment. We've hired the track for half a day. We've got, safety people here. We've got everything set up in the proper way to do this testing. And we're looking forward to having a whole lot of fun and get right into it.
Perfect, mate. I can't wait to see how the 300 goes in these conditions. Now, the fact that we can compare it to other vehicles, and by the looks of it, we've got a massive turnout today, as in so many different vehicles to choose from.
All these cars in the modified version, especially with the petrol guys, they're all supercharged. So we're talking big combos on these cars, making big power. So we're really going to put the 300 series to the test with these cars as well. So it's a stinking hot day. It's about 35 degrees at the moment. Humidity is really high. So it's going to be really interesting to see the end result.
Can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, let's get going, eh?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, guys, here we are at the start line, and it's what we're gonna call sudden death elimination. Simple as that. Basically, off we go, down the straight.
Yep, so we've got all the modified cars on the track, so the standard cars have been put away. Basically, whoever wins goes into the next round and goes against the next thing, and then we'll eventually get back to those two cars, and whoever wins, wins. So
there you
pretty
go.
simple.
I'm up first.
You're up first.
What am I up against?
This is a Ram. It's got a supercharger on it. It was done by High Torque. Beautiful car. Makes a fair bit of power, this thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how you go against it.
Supercharged Ram.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
You put me
into the deep end. So we're going to go through.
Straight up.
And we'll see how this runs through.
Supercharged Ram, mate. I think I only got a couple of little turbos and some diesel.
Yeah, tiny little engine as well. But we'll see. We'll see how you go. Hopefully, it'll be pretty good. So
there we go.
Let's go.
I'm keen. Let's do it. I'm just looking at that red light. Goes to white, then to green, and I'm out of here. Damn it!
things, I don't know, 5 point something litre V8. I'm just a twin turbo V6. In touring mode, by the way, with some Max Tracks on the roof and a bloody Campos awning on the side on 35-inch tyres. So there you go. That was a V8 petrol with a supercharger, putting out some serious horsepower. I held my own for a little bit there, and then he just got me on the legs. Well, it's elimination round 2, so I'm out. I'm done. Mate, I should have been home last night, stripping all the weight out of this thing. That thing is fast, absolutely fast.
We also had the 300 series lineup, which was my 300 series and Jason's from All for Adventures 300 series. Now, I understand they're very similar in power. Mine probably makes a little bit more power, so I did have that advantage over him. But the big thing that I had over Jason was weight, and you can see the difference that weight adds to your car. He has a front bar, he has a rear bar, he has, you know, drawers in there with batteries, and you name it. He's got every accessory in that car you can poke a stick at. I, on the other hand, that car is pretty much how it comes from factory with 35-inch tyres, JMac, you know, GVM upgrade, and that's pretty much it. I don't have dual batteries, I don't have any of those other components. The only other components we've added to it is our own stuff, which is like our heat exchangers and snorkels. So when we talk about weight, there's minimal weight in my car compared to his, and you can really see the difference that my car had so much more power in it.
That is it, right there. 600 kilos. So, identical tunes, identical. Everything, including launch control at 2800 RPM, the whole lot. We've even got the same size tyres, but he has 600 less kilos in his truck. And that is the difference right there, right there. I'm what you call a touring truck, and that, we're gonna have to call that thing a bloody drag racing truck. Remember, all from a twin turbo V6 diesel, and literally an upgrade to the water to air intercooler, a fat snorkel and an airbox, mate. It's that simple. I can't believe what, and cost effective, like so cost effective. Basically it's cheap horsepower you can get out of these 300s. That, my friend, is absolutely nuts. Man, it's an adrenaline rush, I'll tell you now. It's been absolutely cracking. Woo! Yeah, love it.
At first, I was pretty nervous about racing these guys. You got to remember, our 300 series is definitely not standard. It makes about that 440 horsepower, okay? And this is on the hubs. Now, anyone seen the hub dynos, they always add a little bit more. So if we think about it, it's around about that 400 horsepower. So we're probably, 150 horsepower shy to be able to go up against these guys. But what was really interesting, they all started racing, we started to go through, and as I started to line up, what was really impressive about the 300 series is not only did we beat all the cars, we started to have that pull in the top end, and that's really where that sequential turbo worked really, really well. And something that else was really important to see was the fact that the modifications we've done with the heat exchanger, we didn't have the heat soak, so we could turn around and do a back-to-back run again, and we could still be very, very consistent. So on that day, the track temp was around that 35, 36 degrees. It was super humid. It wasn't real good to be racing in those conditions, but you know, it was really great to see real world effect how those cars performed.
That was nuts.
It was definitely fun. I really enjoyed that. It was a hell of a day.
That car's fast.
Yeah,
like,
look,
it is fast.
It's pretty, yeah, look, it's crazy to think we come out here, there's definitely some really stout cars here, you know. We've got some supercharged Rams and Patrols and all sorts of stuff, and to take out and beat them, I'm super surprised. I was a little bit nervous coming here this morning. I'm thinking, these guys are probably going to towel me, especially in that top end is where those guys shine.
And this is full legit, like this is full legit, 100%.
It's exactly how I drive the car.
No setup.
I tow my caravan with that, that's exactly how it runs.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is your car, like our last race then, you know, full weight, very similar power. I do have a little bit more than you.
Yeah.
But, you know, similar, you know, power-wise, but the weight that you carry, it makes a massive difference to how that drops that level.
Mate, I've got my Max Trax and shovel on the roof and a bloody awning.
Yeah, pretty much. But all in all, I think it's been pretty successful.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of, you know, it's great to see the standard cars. I think it was great to see the stock cars, especially with the Patrol and the Rams versus each other. Yeah. And that's really good. Like, that's always something that I've been interested on.
Yeah, to see what these big V8s do.
Definitely, and they feel pretty good to drive, you know, but I think still, understandably, you know, coming to a 300 series, it's a 3.3 litre V6 diesel engine. It's a
smallest
small
capacity.
Engine. It's tiny.
Smallest capacity here.
Smallest capacity here and takes out the win. So I think that's pretty good. At the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm stoked.
Mate,
I'm really happy.
Well done, well done.
Thanks for coming, mate.
Yeah, no dramas, not a problem.
Have fun.
Yeah, look, I don't know about you, but now that car, it's got so much more. I don't know, it just feels more responsive, it drives better, it just handles better, just everything about it. It's a better truck.
You know, the 300 series, especially in the Australian market, everyone's always been a bit skeptical about this car. I think this really showcases not only can we make power, but we can do it repeatedly. On a day like today, it's like 40 degrees, and there's a heat wave coming over us at the moment. It is hot, right? And the fact that these cars can continue to perform in this weather. This is the way of the future, and these cars are definitely it, I believe.
Well, there you go, guys. You've heard it right here today. I'm pretty sure, and let's get him to say it, because I've already said it. I reckon the 300 is better than the 200.
100%. There's no doubt denying that.
There you go. It's 100%. The 300 is better than the 200. There you go. You heard it straight from me and straight from Matt. Mate, let's go. I can literally just go to the beach now with my truck.
Done.
Literally, I'm gone.
That's it.
Yeah, I can go tour Australia in this rig. All right, guys, so this morning I've got 1, 2, 3 four-wheel drives. We've got the 300, we've got the 200, and we've got the Patrol. Now, it's the Campos Patrol, it's the Alpha Adventure 200, right? And the new Adventure 300. And I'm gonna tow the jet ski, so we've got a couple of jet skis we're gonna take up. I'm gonna hook up with another mate of mine called Rod, and he's got something pretty cool that we're gonna have a crack at. But we're gonna go for a run up to Double Island Point, and we're gonna test the 300 and see how it goes compared to the 200, see how it goes compared to the Patrol, okay? It's just a casual test. It's first little day out on the beach. We're gonna drop some tire pressures, give it a run, see how it goes. I might even get bogged. I gotta tow a bloody heavy jet ski trailer. But I got a few mates coming along, okay? And they're gonna be driving my trucks, and for the first time, mind you.
G'day guys, I'm Paulo. I'm driving the V8 today, the 200. Here with Stu from season 13. Yep. So yeah, no, I reckon the 200 might come out on top today.
Mate, let's stop mucking around here. Let's get down to the ferry and let's get cracking. It's going to have a fun day. So the 200, as you know, is diesel and V8, and then of course the 300, which is a twin turbo V6 diesel, and then of course we've got the Patrol, the Campos Patrol, which is a V8 petrol. Now I'm going to be towing the trailer, so I'm going to get the most work out. I just want to see how it goes towing in soft sand,
because this thing's got skinny little razor wheels on it, and you know, it's quite heavy. 2 jet skis on there, I reckon is about, it's 1.9 tonne, so there's a bit of weight there. I don't have big tyres like the 200. The 200 runs 35s, this only runs 33s. So we're going to see how it goes. Remember, this is a little bit of a shakedown to see how it goes on the beach. Hey mate.
Hey Jase, good to see you, man.
Cool.
Been a long time.
Yeah, let's go. Hey Brenda.
Hey.
Hey, how you going? Let's go.
Yeah, we got a good day too, actually.
Yeah.
Although the tide's going to be a bit high, but we'll work it out.
Yeah, we brought the jet skis, brought a whole crew with us. Here they come now.
Hey, I'm riding. Good.
I'm still trying to work out how they even go. This is all our crew. Savannah.
Hey, good to see you.
I don't know how the 300's going to go. How's the 200 going so far?
Good.
He's got the two. Paulo's got the 200.
Yep.
All right. Mitch has got the V8 Patrol.
Cool.
And what have you got?
I just got a Hilux.
There you go.
Good old
that's
Hilux.
Cool. No, you got the Hilux. They say the 300 has more power and more torque. And don't forget I've tuned it, so I don't know. We're going to see. Test is always, when you tow, especially on soft sand, is always a strong test for a vehicle's capability. Not only its temperature, you got to watch it, whether it can hold temperature and not overheat, whether the auto can handle it, all that sort of stuff. It makes a big difference when you start towing things, and that's why I've got the trailer on the 300, so we can see how that's going to go. I know how the 200 goes, but I don't know how the 300 goes. Well, today I'm going to drop the tyre pressures down, so I'm going straight to 18. I'm not mucking around. Apparently there's not a lot of beach at high tide, so we may have to be waiting for the tide at subsections, because remember I got the trailer on the back, and I've got to drop air out of the tyres on the trailer as well, because they're razor blades and they're skinny as.
Well, so I've been driving this Patrol just from Jase's to here, and this thing bloody goes. Like there's no shortage of power at all. You put your foot down and it's off. Especially being petrol as well. This thing just keeps going. Just feels endless with power. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes. It mugs the 200 and the 300 there. Especially with the 300 with the skis in the back.
See what they look like at 20. I don't know, it's only a little tyre. But I'm going to need all the help I can get, I reckon. Or maybe the 300 might surprise me. Just check it. Set them to 18. Well, there you go. 17.8, 17.7. 0.3 out. That'll do. All right, tyres are down. We're good to go. So you work out how to use that, all the buttons in that thing yet, Mitch?
Yeah, mate, all over it on sand mode.
Oh, copy, you got a big dial that says sand. What if I got a dial that says that?
You'll have something in there, surely. That's a bit fancy, that new car.
Oh, shit, I don't even know how to operate this thing properly. Where's all my little drive mode? No, that's... Don't want that. That's suspension. I just want some buttons. I think I'm in 4-wheel drive. All right. It'll be fine.
How soft's that sand looking, Jase?
Soft. Real soft. That trailer is like a plow.
Bit of V8 for the camera.
That's right. I'll just soak that up.
Sorry.
Traction control. Rookie mistake. I just left traction control on.
There's plenty of high tide going on.
That jet ski trailer's a nightmare. Look at it.
Where's my traction control? I don't even know this car. I don't know it. Oh, there we go. Traction control off. Boom, there we go. How you going, Paulo, in the mighty 200?
Oh, mate, just eats his stuff up.
Yeah, it's rarely I get to drive that truck without any without anything being towed behind the back of it that weighs over 2 ton. If you look at the trailer, man, the trailer is like literally hanging out the side and just ploughing. So really gonna need all the power I can get. I'm gonna need that torque. So hopefully this V6 has got that torque. And look what's up ahead.
There you go with that trailer, Jase. It looks like it's just ploughing through.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Oh. There's those drop-offs that they talk about. Look at that. Come on, baby, come on, come on. Woo. That was close, that's too close. I'm nearly losing the trailer then.
Is it towing it all right?
It won't sit in the track and I'm bogging down. That was close. Like if that trailer had come off the edge, it would have been all bad.
I don't think we're going to bob today on that thing, eh?
What thing?
No. I think we're going to be pulling you out today.
Why is that?
That thing just hammers.
Does it?
They're all good, yeah.
How's the 200 go?
Oh, mate, are we on the beach yet?
Yeah. We're in soft sand.
This thing just eats it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. I actually found that a bit very torquey. I thought I was gone then.
Yeah.
I reversed back a touch and then moved, and it went.
Yeah.
So it feels real torquey, eh? I'm not in low,
Yeah.
I'm in high.
That's like dragging that trailer, eh?
Oh, the trailer, you should see, when in the mirror, the trailer's like out here. It's not even in my wheel track. I don't know, I don't understand all the electronic gizmos in this thing. That's crawl control. I'm stuck. I'll see how it goes, but I ain't going anywhere. I'm stuck. You there, mate? You have to come up with the patrol or the cruiser, someone. I'm stuck.
You're joking. You're proper stuck too.
Yeah, I just need a pop, so... Yeah, I don't know, I tried to take off back there before and I hit the gas, there was no power. I was in high. Better close my door. And yeah, basically, now I'm stuck. Yeah.
I said, man, those trailers are like sleds. The wheel tracks are way wider than the car, and they're hard work. I've done it before.
It's like a brake.
Yeah.
Literally like a brake.
And the little wheels.
Yeah, like little dinky razor blades.
You can see the springs. They're dragging in the sand now.
We'll be fine, mate, with this thing, with the V8 on this. No dramas at all, I reckon. Well, fingers crossed. So, interesting to see. So, but I reckon it'll be fine.
So I'm using a bow shackle because if you have a look at this, see this? That's not soft shackle compatible. It'll cut that soft shackle straight in half. So by using a bow shackle, it's not dangerous. Oh, Mitch.
Let's do it.
Come on, baby, come on. Just a little pop, that's it. That's it, reverse him up. Remember, every time you pop, don't bog yourself down. No, you put her in low.
It's struggling to find low gear.
You're not in, so you gotta be in neutral when you put it into low range, and you gotta make sure that the light stops flashing. Mitch is used to driving a manual car, see? These young fellas, they like manual, they like to grab onto the gear stick. Alright, we're good, go. Oh baby, there's the power. Alright, I'm up. Alright, I'm good. So like I said before, the reason why we didn't use soft shackles on that recovery there with the kinetic rope was because both the recovery points on this vehicle and that vehicle are not soft shackle compatible, which means if I'd have used the soft shackle, it would have cut that thing straight in half because they're all got sharp edges. And that is where at the moment the transition between using soft shackles and bow shackles, it's not there yet. Not everyone has got, you know, recovery hitches, including car manufacturers, even bull bar manufacturers. They're not set up for it yet. Eventually it might come, but never ever leave home with just soft shackles. Take a bow shackle with you, a rated bow shackle, just in case you got to do a recovery like that. We're out. I just needed a little pop to get out, and I'm out. And
Now I've got to run this thing in low range in the really soft stuff. But yeah, look, I'll tell you what, it's a bad time to be on the beach, but it is what it is, at least the tide's going out. Basically what happened back there, Oz, so I'd gone off onto the edge a bit and I'd gone to take off and so get back into the track sort of thing, and I bogged down, and what happens is, and I know it with the 200 as well, is they lose a lot of power in this soft sand, and you've got to be dropping it down to, say, the low, right? Especially when you're towing. Towing really puts the pressure on vehicles. There's no doubt about it. The second you put something on the back, and this is probably worse than my big trailer, because my big trailer has full-size off-road tyres that I can drop the pressure out in, you know what I mean? So I can't, these got like razor blades on it, so it's like pulling a sled with bricks in it. Because if you looked in the mirror, if you can see what I can see, and that's this trailer is just literally hanging out the side. It's not in the wheel track, it's not happening. So I take off, I bog down, and of course these things in autos, they lose that power. You don't have that ability to clutch up. So I probably should have been then in low, but then by the time I'm stuck. And then Mitch is in the patrol. Now Mitch is used to driving, get this, a nav. He owns a nav, MP30, whatever, and it's a manual. So completely different to the autos. I'm trying to work out how to get this thing going and what all the buttons are, and you know, like, because it's all different to my 200. Like, this thing is a GR Sport. It's got buttons everywhere for everything. There's diff locks front and rear, there's traction controls, there's crawl controls, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when the soft sand, when you're on the high part of the beach in the soft sand and you're towing, it really sorts you out. You boys on channel?
Yep, copy.
We're going to, the cutting's just up here, so here's your opportunity to see how those vehicles that you guys are driving go. I'm going to have to give her the berries. It's up to you guys whether you want to give her the berries. If I was you, Paulo, I'd be giving that 200 the berries for sure.
Will do. It's your car, your call.
All right, here we go. It's probably not even soft as, but pick a line and away you go. I'll pick this one. There we go. Easy peasy.
Righto, copy that. I'll follow through with the patrol.
See how you boys come through. There's nothing flash. It's not overly soft. Oh, the big patrol's coming.
Let's go, Mitch.
Yeah, mate, well, no dramas whatsoever.
All right, are you up next, Paulo? Nah, it's the Hilux.
Where you coming, mate?
Mate. I want to hear the big 200 rumble past.
Okay, give it a herb.
All right, we're going to head over to the other side now, and I guess that's going to be our best place to launch the jet skis and the whatever it is that Roddo's got in the back of his car. I'm keen to see, and let's go and have some fun.
Sounds good, mate. Let's do it.
Hey guys, today's video is brought to you by the new product from Campos 4x4. Now it's called the Nudie Boss Shower Tent, and it's designed to be convenient and easy to pack up and set up and have a private area where you can get dressed, changed, have a shower, go to the toilet, whatever you want to do. It's awesome, it's easy, check this out. How cool is that? Simple as that, guys. So inside, if you have a quick look, you'll notice there's a couple of pouches here to store some stuff, your shower gel or whatever. Up here, have a look at this. So that's where the shower head will come through. Comes with a light, Have a look here. So switching of the light, we've got white and orange. And this is pretty cool as well. I can put the roof in. A couple of Velcro clips, and I've got a private place where I can either go to toilet, I can have a shower, all those sorts of things. There she is, guys, the nudie boss. Now, if you get a chance, go on to Camp Boss 4x4 shop online, or check out your local Camp Boss 4x4 dealer. Anyway, back to the adventure. All right, let's do this. So we let the tide drop. By the time the tide dropped, that little cutting there is easy as. No dramas there whatsoever. So we head over to the other side, the North Shore basically, where it's nice and calm and you can launch the ski. I'm not sure whether you can get up to the headland. There might be a couple of deep water crossings, and I don't want to be taking this thing through the salt water crossings. It's a bit too new, because I've heard that they're quite deep, like bonnet deep. I'm not real keen about that. Interesting, because there's been a big high tide, so now there's water all here, like right as you come out, there's water. Let's go this way. There we go. This looks like the place to go. All right. Anyway, here looks like a good spot. Oh, you're onto it, are you?
It's because your dad was.
It's because your dad.
I want
your dad.
I want to. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Where's Mummy? What are you doing on the beach today?
Surfing.
Surfing?
No, I'm swimming and fishing.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll chuck these jet skis in. But I want to see what Roddo's got in the back of his canopy, because apparently he's got something really cool. So I can't wait to see it. So we'll chuck some jet skis in, and then we'll get your little toy out. Toys?
2 toys today.
2 toys.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, I'm going to chuck these in the water. Go. It's a bit soft. Have a look at this. Oh shit. Quicksand there. All right, let's do this. I'm keen to see what you got. Like, you wouldn't tell me too much on the phone.
No,
and
no.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I know it's got to have something to do with the jet ski for sure.
Oh well, absolutely. But it's one of the coolest products you'll ever see. They're brand new in the market in Australia, and it's something you've got to see to believe. So,
all right,
let's get it.
Chuck it on this thing that looks like a chair. No way, is that a jet ski?
Well, it's kinda, it's jet powered.
In a surfboard?
Yep.
Holy crap.
Check that puppy out. So that's called a jet surf.
Jet surf?
Yep, so it's basically a motorized surfboard.
Wow, like it looks like a huge wakeboard.
It's somewhat like a wakeboard, but more so like a surfboard as such.
Carbon fibre.
Yeah. carbon fibre.
This looks like where the jet bit comes out.
Yeah, and that's where the cool stuff lives.
Oh wow, look at that. A little baby jet engine.
Yep, so what you've got, MSR are a go-kart company.
Yeah.
They've developed a special engine for these boards. It's 100cc. It's fuel injected to meet Australian emission standards.
Yeah.
And it produces about 15 horsepower, push you along to about 60 k's an hour, roughly, 55, 60.
Holy crap. It's like a big towing board.
Yeah, and amazing in the surf. Absolutely amazing in the surf.
And this?
That's your throttle. That's how you control it. Like, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to see this.
So what
I got to see this in the water.
Well, set
It's even registered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's almost like a jet ski. It's like a PWC. So we suggest they're registered and have a license. Yeah. Because obviously the speed they do and the horsepower they have, you got to have someone that's got a license to ride them. So, which is really cool. So what I'll do, I've got to put some fins on it.
Yep.
We kick it in the guts and go for a burn.
Let's give it a whirl.
Alrighty.
How cool's that? I didn't know what he was going to bring out. I knew it had something to do with a jet ski or something, but I didn't know it'd be like this surfboard. It's like a giant wakeboard with foot straps and, man, hang on, so this is Goofy.
This is set up for Goofy. I do have another board which has a multi-binding on it, which anyone can ride. This one's actually my personal board, so this is what they call the race model. This
I'm not Goofy.
You're Goofy?
I'm natural.
You're natural, that's right. I've got another one in there. Set up for you.
Yep.
And we can go out together.
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
We got to give it a crack.
Cool. So they've got the SVS fins on it, which is the standard surfing style fins, which you just push in. Another one in there. Boom. Cool.
Fins are on.
So how it works from there is you've got basically a lanyard or a kill switch. Now I'm Goofy, so I put it on my right arm.
Yeah.
So you snap that on there, and then you hold your throttle with my right hand because I'm on with this back front foot.
Yeah.
And then you stick this in. So what I got to do first is turn the board on. So I put it in once.
Yeah.
And that actually makes the board go. So you'll see the little lights flashing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then from there, once I put it in the second time and push it in hard.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Absolutely.
That's mental.
Hence the coolest thing you've ever seen, right?
Yeah, that's mental.
Yeah, they're amazing.
We got to give that a crack.
Cool.
I want to see this. I got to see you on it first.
Yeah, that's it. Well, what we'll do, we'll grab the other one out. We'll get the two of them side by side here, and I can show you the little bit of difference between the two.
Yeah.
And then, we'll give it a whirl.
Good job.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
What we've got here, that board is called the race board.
Yeah.
This board is called the adventure.
Adventure board.
Yep. So the difference being, and if you look from behind, this board's wider in the tail.
Oh yeah.
Compared to that board's narrower. That one's got a square front edge.
Yeah.
Where that's more rounded.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yep. And you'll notice this board's got more rocker than this one, and more rocker this way. So what it is, it's all about stability. So this is a great beginner board.
Yep.
And then when you get to the level I'm at, you jump on to the more advanced board.
Beginner.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, when you say beginner, these are really an advanced level board, but this is where you start.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, my surfboard doesn't have a jet motor in it, so it's beginner for me.
Well, this is going to be better to start with.
Yeah. How cool is that?
They are really cool board.
That's very cool.
Really cool board. And
like
the performance.
Wicked. It's like you're wakeboarding.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
Oh, here we go.
awesome. I can't wait to get out into the waves. Like, that is just mental. That's awesome, mate. That is awesome.
How good are they?
Good job, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
now
awesome.
that you've got it mastered here,
Yeah.
let's hit the surf.
I reckon. Before I get too tired.
No, you'll be right.
Oh, you got to work your pumps on the legs.
It's hard work, yeah.
I won't be able to walk.
Don't worry, that's tomorrow. You can sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
All good.
No, that's a goal. Yeah, let's go in the surf.
In the waves is amazing.
Yeah.
Once we get out there, and there's a beautiful wave there.
Yeah, I see that. I just come back from the waves. That was absolutely awesome, right? Like I've got the slow one. And I thought that was fine. Yeah, like is the throttle right out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it's literally like riding a wave on a jet ski, but it's like you're on a board now, and you're able to beat the sections if you want, and then cruise along and sit on the wave, just using that little bit of power and a little bit of momentum from the wave. It's nuts, and then come off it and then go up, catch another wave, and away you go. It's nuts. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you can do that for an hour until you run out of juice.
Until I run out of juice in my legs.
Exactly.
It's just mental, next level. I know you don't see me doing this stuff much. I'm normally in a four-wheel drive or catching fish, but I don't know. It's just that day out. The 300, the 200, the patrol, the jet, surf, boards. Mate, awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Go!
Dilly!
Yeah, look, follows up. Here, mate. Stewie, which one you want?
We'll go shower.
Oh, I haven't got any showers left.
Oh, that'll do.
Give that a crack. I'm going one of these.
They go alright?
Yeah, they're actually yummy. Very yummy.
Well, it's been a pretty good day. A cracker of a day, actually. So apparently you can't get down to Rainbow along the beach because it's all you can't get past the rocks at the moment. So we better pack our gear up and get the hell out of here. But before we do, I'm just going to hang around for a little bit, have a bit of a break here on the beach. This is a great spot here, absolutely awesome spot. And those jet boards, man, they're nuts. They're next level. Here goes Mitch. He's gonna have a crack. He's got it. He got it. Oh!
That's a big one. Hey, good.
Jump in cars, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here before the tide comes in too much. Heading back down the beach now, and it's a hell of a lot easier than it was this morning. The tide's run out and yeah, it's easy going now. So we're gonna head back down. We'll get off the beach on the cutting. It shouldn't be too much drama. Not like this morning coming down along that soft bit there. You know, the tide was up and soft sand, trailer on the back. Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a, you know, it's been a great day actually. Jeez, I hope I didn't speak too soon. It did too. Pump the tyres up too soon. Foggy. I pumped the tyres up because of the hard beach back there. Because the tide was out, but this really soft, this section through here. Cutting it just up there. So we're going to need them down anyway to get off this beach.
I was starting to get a bit too cocky there. I thought it was going to be sweet, but that is actually proper soft. I thought, no, we'll be sweet. We're sitting at 35 PSI now, and it just sucks straight down, especially with the power of the control too. It just sinks. But no wonder he's stuck. Let's get him out.
Here we go. Yes. This sand on this beach section here, it's just chopped up. There, got some power into it now. It is chewed up, this beach. Come on, baby, up you get, come on. Yeah, I'm up. All right, whenever you are ready, who's next?
Pretty soft there.
All you good to go? We're gonna pump some tyres up, but I had to put this thing in low to really get the power, get that horsepower and that torque into it, which I found quite surprising. There's a lot more power and a lot more torque down low, especially towing this trailer. So that was a good test, like that soft stuff there. That was a really good test for it. How was the V8? So how was it? Come on, you get to drive the 200,
Yeah.
like the beast wagon from hell.
That thing just eats it,
I think other than me, no one else has ever driven that vehicle other than you now.
Yeah?
I kid you not.
No, it goes alright to 200.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's got some serious, it's an animal truck. Animal truck. How'd you go, Mitch? Patrol?
That thing eats it all up, like no dramas whatsoever.
Yeah?
Like almost to the point where it's too quick, it just bogs itself down. You've got to be careful with it.
Got to be careful with the power.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was getting a little bit too cocky there for a bit. But
yeah, a bit cocky, eh? Comes with the young fellas, I think.
Especially with the V8.
No, well, that's good. Well, the 300, I don't know about you, but the 300, as soon as I went from high range, I was in high range this morning.
Yeah.
Now that this afternoon, I went, I'm going low. I go low range, and yeah, just the power that comes out of it, and the fact that you can get the gears and it'll knock the gears down and really put the power in, that was important, and it made all the difference. And you can feel it really torquey and do what it's got to do.
Especially with that trailer on, that trailer was just dragging.
Oh, 100%. The trailer is the equivalent of towing something probably 2.5 ton that doesn't have, you know, it's got no off-road tyres or anything like that. So yeah, other than that, I reckon the 300's pretty good. It was a good test for it. Remember, soft sand sorts out the bend from the boys. These boys, they had it easy.
Not wrong.
Let's go and get a feed, eh?
Sounds good.
Hey mate, check out the new 300.
I like it, buddy.
Let's take it for a spin, eh?
I'm driving.
Okay. So we've just pulled up and set up camp here with the 300 adventure truck. So Simon and I are going to show you what's involved in this truck and what you get basically when you win it.
That's it. Taking a standard 300 and turned it into a camp truck. So Jase, show us what camping features we got.
Well, it's pretty good, don't you think? The first thing that you'll notice is you got to get a couple of chairs with it.
Don't leave home without your camp chairs.
So we've set up a couple of camp chairs here. And you'll notice up top here, we've got the Slimline Camp Boss rooftop tent. Okay, now that sits on a Rhino rack platform.
Yep.
All right, which is pretty good. It's perfect sort of setup. You just mount it on top there. It's quite lightweight because Toyota don't have a high rating on the roof rack these days, so it's perfect for that. The other thing, come around the back here, have a look at this, mate.
In the modern era these days, you want it to look good on the roof, and these actually look really good on the roof.
That is true. They look pretty sleek, eh?
Yeah.
So in the back of this thing, we've got a bit of a setup, not just the seats. You know, normally there'd be some seats in the back or no seats at all, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, we've got a full drawer system. Now that comes in handy because
let's face it,
you've got a lot of space in there, a lot of stuff you can stack in there and store, and then you've got all the space up on top.
So you got some electrical gear hanging out the back of this one.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of, you know, we've got some electrical. So it's got a full onboard dual battery system. 100 amp hours of lithium,
yep.
All right, to run a fridge. So if you want to put a fridge up there and a slide, no problem.
Yep.
You want to run a sound system, check this out.
Oh, well, look at that, didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's pretty good, eh? So that's a full light, you know, it's got lights going on, it's a full sound bar.
So that's what you
12
use
volt.
to annoy the other campers in the
That's the one.
in the campground. That's
Should we put the tunes in?
That's why we camp out here in the bush.
And then over here we've got a subwoofer that runs with that. So if you want to feel the bass, mate. All right. So you'll notice there's a fair bit of room in the back there. Now that's run by 100 amp hours of lithium and a management system. Yep. All right, so there's a full management system and an inverter. You got a little button here you press in for the inverter, and then you just plug in the power point and away you go.
All good to go.
And then of course there's a built-in compressor there somewhere so you can pump up your tyres as well. You see that?
Yep. Now, see
bit of a compressor. Yeah, you got some hose outlets there. Another drawer over here with a table on it.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes pretty good as far as I'm concerned. All right, now it is a GR Sport, all right? Which means it's got all the fruit when it comes to 300 series LandCruiser. So even stock as a rock, a GR Sport is an awesome bit of kit. Leather trim, all the high-tech stuff, just a beautiful car to drive. In fact, you drove it, what do you think?
It is an awesome car to drive.
There you go.
I hope I get it. Come on.
I hope I win it. And don't forget the rooftop tent.
Hell no.
Let's have a quick look at that.
Break out the ladder.
There we go. The first thing you'll notice is how compact this tent is and how easy it is to set up. Pack up and set up. Now it's quite comfortable in here for 2 people, so it's a double person tent. Mate, it's got lighting all the way around the inside, LED lighting, which is dimmable. It's even got a power distribution board there and a 50mm high density foam mattress. So not only lightweight, it's low profile on your car, looks good, it's quite comfortable and very, very wind and weatherproof. All right. Well, there you go, mate. It's pretty good rooftop tent, that one up on the roof there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to head to the beach and we'll show you what all the 4-wheel drive gear this thing's got on it.
Go and test her, mate, test her.
All right, we better pack this up really quickly. All right guys, let's go through the off-road gear on this truck. Mate, there is some fruit on this truck. First thing you got to notice is this awesome color-coded front bar. Now it's from Off-Road Animal. The guys at McCormack's 4-wheel drive are the ones that built this rig, okay? And also the performance comes from the guys at Just Autos, all right? So let's go under the bonnet.
Here
we go.
There he is.
All right, and when you lift the bonnet, the one thing you got to notice is Just Autos have an entire package. It's a multi-mapping package, okay? We've got Adjust Auto's intercooler in the front there. We've got a box, what we call an air box, connected to the snorkel. There's an exhaust system underneath, and they're clever 5-stage multi-mapping, which means you can change the settings on the run from the steering wheel. How cool is that?
Mate, it has got some awesome grunt.
Now it's been dynoed at 400 horsepower, which is pretty cool considering we're running 35-inch tyres. And that's another thing you'll notice. Drop the bonnet there, Simon. So, colour-coded bull bar with a winch there, XTM winch and lights. Check out the Black Bear tyres. These are 35, be 12.5. Black Bear mud terrain.
And these mud tyres, mate, they're not even noisy and they have got absolute bulk traction. And look at this, we've got 35-inch tyres under 300 series LandCruiser because we've got an awesome suspension package under there.
Yeah, from Outback Armour. Now, you'll see the ROH wheels. Okay, so nice ROH wheels with that sort of that copper colour inlay. It looks pretty cool. You come along here, you got an EC off-road side step. Now, that's a heavy-duty side step. You would have seen the aluminium ones that come with the 300. Yeah, they're a bit piss-weak. These ones, mate, they are killer. They're almost pretty much rock sliders.
My favourite part, mate, my favourite bit. How good are they?
Yeah, you can't go past the clear view mirrors because you are going to be doing some towing. This thing is quite capable of towing.
Look at that.
Look at that. Quite capable of towing some serious tonnage. All right, now you'll notice this custom wrap, all right? This is the colour that really set this thing apart. People just, mate, it makes it pop. So this is a full wrap. People can't even work out whether it's a wrap or a paint job, but it is a wrap.
So you can go bush bash and put scratches all down on them, don't even care.
No, you can't.
Well, you can.
No.
After you've won it, you can.
Yeah. All right, so see the flares? We got flares front and rear. So the flares are to allow for the offset in the tyres. So that makes it look beefier and it's got a real wide stance. Now, down the back here, we got a Raslar rear bar. This is a nice bar, colour-coded, mind you, by the guys at McCormack's 4-wheel drive. On the roof, we've got a Rhino platform. So Rhino rack platform with a backbone. Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks great. Looks part of the truck.
So you'll notice the 2 swing away. You got the swing away spare wheel on the back here with the jerry can holder on that Raslar, colour-coded, mind you, rear bar, which really, look, it really sets it apart. And then of course, don't forget the 2 jet skis on the trailer. Mate, what more could you want? This is a really good off-road package. You can see the ground clearance that it's got. It handles extremely well with that Outback Armour suspension and with the tune. How's it handle on the sand, mate?
Oh, it's an animal, mate, an absolute animal. No shortage of power anywhere.
Now, it's an absolute awesome package. 300 series LandCruiser Adventure rig, $225,000 worth of Adventure 300 and the 2 jet skis. Mate, it's an awesome prize pack. One lucky bugger is going to win the whole shooting match, and I could be handing you the keys. Ooh, I think I got a bit of a touch. Ooh.
Hey mate, this little creek here reminds me of that time that we were stuck up at the Drysdale, remember? When I hooked that really big fish.
Big fish.
Remember when we were stuck up there in the flood?
Yeah, I remember the flood, but I don't remember no big fish.
It was, mate, it was huge, I'm telling you.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Hang on.
And I don't think you caught anything.
According to Unleash.tv, which I have here on my phone, see?
Oh, video evidence. Dusty.
Mate, there it is. I've clicked on it now.
I baited a fish.
That's a record, huh? I think it was about as big as this iPhone.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
You gonna bite yet?